The delivery room is meant to be a place of hope, where families welcome new life with joy and anticipation. Yet sometimes, a single medical mistake can turn that moment into a lifetime of hardship. Few stories show this more powerfully than what happened in Cook County, Illinois. In May 2024, a jury awarded $23,070,000 to Najai Johnson, a 7-year-old girl who suffers from brain damage and cerebral palsy. A jury of 12 found that a nurse and 2 obstetricians at Advocate Trinity Hospital were negligent by failing to deliver Najai by a timely cesarean section. Much of the award will go toward medical expenses for her care throughout her life. Cases like this are a sobering reminder of why families turn to an experienced childbirth injury lawyer when tragedy strikes in the delivery room. A birth injury is not just a medical term. It represents trauma that can occur during pregnancy, labor, or shortly after delivery. Some injuries may heal quickly, while others, such as cerebral palsy or brachial plexus damage, cause permanent disabilities. According to a 2025 analysis, birth injuries affect 6 to 8 per 1,000 live births in the United States, with up to 15% of those infants developing long-term disabilities. The use of vacuum extractors has been linked to an increase of about 10% in birth injuries, particularly cephalohematoma and subgaleal hemorrhage. Many of these tragedies could have been prevented with proper care. For parents in Chicago and across Illinois, turning to a childbirth injury attorney is often the first step in holding hospitals accountable. The impact extends far beyond delivery. Families face enormous medical bills, therapy sessions, and the emotional strain of watching a child struggle with milestones. A childbirth injury lawsuit seeks justice and financial relief, but outcomes depend on the severity of the injury, the negligence involved, long-term care needs, and financial losses like medical expenses or lost income. Legal deadlines and the strength of medical evidence also play a role. That is why birth trauma lawyers work to ensure that every birth injury settlement reflects the true cost of these injuries. The story of Theroux shows the lasting toll of these injuries. Born with a brachial plexus injury, his left arm was dysfunctional and in constant pain. Each growth spurt brought new agony, and simple joys like climbing or catching a ball were impossible. Teasing from classmates left him withdrawn, while his parents, Ken and Michelle, endured years of failed therapies and the guilt of watching him suffer. It was very, very difficult, Michelle recalled, describing how the family often felt isolated and desperate for answers. Homeschooling eventually became necessary, and though a later surgery brought some relief, the scars of sleepless nights, fear for his future, and helplessness remain. Stories like Tyler's show why families need strong advocates to pursue childbirth injury compensation and secure justice for years of pain and uncertainty. Families facing such hardship need more than answers. They need advocacy and resources. At Rosenfeld Injury Lawyers, we provide comprehensive support for childbirth injury cases. We begin with a detailed investigation of medical records and hospital procedures, then collaborate with leading medical experts to explain how negligence caused the injury and its lifelong impact. We calculate the full scope of damages, from therapies and equipment to home modifications. We handle negotiations with hospitals and insurers, and when necessary, present a compelling case in court. By managing every legal detail, we give parents the ability to focus on their child's care, knowing their case is in trusted hands. Birth injuries come in many forms. Bone fractures, especially clavicle fractures, are common with shoulder dystocia or breech births. Brachial plexus injuries like Erb's palsy may heal with therapy, though severe cases can last a lifetime. Caput succedaneum causes scalp swelling that may lead to infections, while cerebral palsy from oxygen deprivation can permanently affect brain and muscle function. Cephalohematoma is linked to difficult deliveries with forceps or vacuum extractors. Other injuries include facial paralysis from nerve pressure, hypoxic ischemic encephalopathy from oxygen loss, spinal cord damage leading to immobility, and subconjunctival hemorrhage from ruptured eye vessels. Did you know Erb's palsy can sometimes improve naturally with physical therapy? Still, many of these conditions require urgent care. Detecting these injuries often begins immediately after birth. Doctors may perform physical exams, order ultrasounds or CT scans, or run blood tests. Early detection can make a huge difference. Yet when injuries are missed or untreated, a child's condition may worsen, and parents are left not only with heartbreak, but also with grounds for legal action. Beyond the medical side, the emotional toll is immense. Parents grieve the future they once imagined for their child, question whether they could have done something differently, and live with constant anxiety about the road ahead. These emotions are compounded when hospitals and insurers deny responsibility, leaving families to navigate both care and accountability alone. That is why working with an experienced childbirth injury lawyer is critical. If your child was harmed at birth, you do not have to face this battle alone. An experienced childbirth injury lawyer can help you pursue justice and accountability while protecting your family's future. Contact Rosenfeld Injury Lawyers today for a free and confidential consultation.